Smite Talk is proudly sponsored by Tweaked Audio. Go to tweakedaudio.com for high performance, noise reducing earbuds. Use the promo code OctanePro to get 33% off plus free shipping anywhere in the world. Check out tweakedaudio.com today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Smite Talk. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 4 of Smite Talk. My name is OctanePro, and we got lots and lots of goodies for you guys tonight. Some really good discussions going on. No real patch this week, so some cool stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's fade out this wonderful music for you here. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. Well, guys, once again, thank you for joining me. My name is OctanePro, and I appreciate you coming to hang out for Smite Talk. If you guys are new to Smite Talk, want to kind of go over what the show is. If you guys are here and have watched every episode, well, awesome. I appreciate it. Smite Talk is almost a online radio show type of style where you as the viewers can go ahead and call in and express your opinion on different topics. You can call in with questions. You can call in just to shoot the shit and hang out. Either way, it's completely up to you. The information is directly right down here. So using Skype, you can go ahead and call in, and you can type in with the Skype contact name. It's just Smite Talk Radio. And feel free to call in. Would love to get some of your opinions. Also, I decided to do something a little bit different this week as well. If you guys are unable to call in, you can't do it, unable to, what I'm going to recommend is that you actually go to ask.fm/OctanePro, and I'll put that in chat. And you can just go ahead, go there, and shoot me a question if you have a question or something like that. I would prefer if you call in if you can, because I love the live content. I want to hang out, shoot the shit. Some people are a little nervous calling in the first time, but don't worry about it. So anyways, the link is ask.fm/OctanePro. Feel free to go ahead and shoot any questions over there if you do have any. The show will be about 45 minutes long, but it always ends up being like an hour or more just because of the way that things work out. I have preset topics. This week we have 4 preset topics, and pretty much I'll go through one topic at a time, but don't feel that you have to talk about that particular topic if you call in. Call in about whatever you want. I don't care. As long as it's about Smite, that's all I want to talk about. Furthermore, guys, you can check out this version of Smite Talk on YouTube at youtube.com/the-Smite Update. You can also go ahead and check it out on iTunes. Just look up Smite Talk. It's on iTunes right there. And then there's also an Android feed as well. I'll be posting tomorrow all the VODs on Reddit, so you'll have the video VOD and both the audio VODs available as well. Also, if you do go ahead and check it out on iTunes, please feel free to go ahead and give me a 5-star review. Helps out the stream tremendously, so I would appreciate it. Would definitely, be awesome. Finally, if you guys have a question, you can't get it in, you're listening to the VOD, you want it for next week, go ahead and email it to smitetalk@gmail.com, and I'll make sure I get to that next week for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go over our topics for tonight. Our first topic is going to be the Smite Halloween spoiler that Hi-Rez Bart went over today. Our second topic is Sun Wukong and spoils that are kind of coming to us here. Our third topic is incoming league system. And finally, our fourth topic is next hunter class god. So 4 topics there. We'll go through one at a time, but feel free to call in at any time that you really want to. So let's go ahead and jump into it and talk about the Smite Halloween spoiler. So we knew it was coming. We're really happy, though, to see Hi-Rez taking a card out of Blizzard's deck when it comes down to things like costumes and stuff like that and skins for the holidays. We saw Hi-Rez do a little bit of it last Christmas, so I'm really happy to see that. We saw some Hell skins, we saw some Bacchus skins out there, and then we actually saw them go into it with Easter, with the Easter type of bunny skin that we did see there for Bakasura. Now, we're seeing that continue on to something like Halloween, which I'm really happy to see. And what a great pick was to go ahead and go with Thanatos. And so today what we saw is a skin preview for Thanatos. as kind of that Jack the Reaper, also with the Headless Horseman type of style. So I'll go ahead and throw up on stream here a quick little clip, and then I'll take some calls here. See some people call them in. Let's go ahead and go to full screen here. So this is kind of a clip we saw today. Hi-Rez Bart pretty much playing this skin, and kind of giving us an idea as to, okay, what this skin is going to look like. So it pretty much looks very similar to Thanatos. A little bit of that orangish color to it to go with the holidays. And then, kind of the Headless Horseman type of style. So that's kind of our new skin that we are seeing coming out for the holidays. So I guess my question I'm going to reach out to you guys is, what do you think of the skin that was introduced today? Do you think there's going to be additional skins, not just for Thanatos? And what type of Halloween ideas do you guys have for gods in game? What type of skins do you guys have? What ideas do you have? I'd love to hear them. I'm not collecting them and submitting them to Hi-Rez or anything like that. So, yeah. So once again, feel free to call in. The information's right here, Smite Talk Radio. Also, guys, feel free to, as well, go ahead and shoot your questions over to ask.fm/OctanePro. And I'll go ahead and answer them. It's a little bit easier to check them out over there with the questions, kind of isolating them compared to trying to get through everything in chat. So let's go ahead and jump over to our first caller here, and let's see what they have to say. So let's go ahead, accept our friend request here, and let's go ahead and give them a call. And let's see, we got a little ring-a-ling-ling. Oh, it looks like the call failed, so feel free to call back. Feel free to call back whenever you're interested. Furthermore, it looks like we have a question here that was submitted. Quick question here. Let's see. You're going to go ahead and get rid of that one question. To rework Vulcan, what would you suggest to do? Make him physical, change his abilities, or anything like that? I like the idea that we did see with Vulcan with the aspect of turret and kind of like this remote turret idea. I really, really like that idea, and I'm really happy with that idea. But for some reason, it doesn't work with Vulcan. Not really sure why though. And maybe it's because you can only put down one turret. Now, granted, he has his cannon, and then he also has his, and I'm calling turret, like anything remote you can put down. He has his cannon, and then he also has his thumper, which is fine, but, I feel like he needs several different cannons that you could put down to be effective. If I could go ahead and rebuild Vulcan, I would make Vulcan a magical god, because the fact that, he's casting these turrets down and then shooting them. But on top of that, I'm thinking what I would also do is allow him to do up to 3 turrets. And I know people are going to be like, oh my god, that'd be crazy. Imagine 3 turrets. You can make a wall type of style with them. They would do less damage individually, but they would be able to be effective. So you can almost surround your enemy with them. I think it would be really cool, having one style turret fire slow, one does physical damage, one does magical damage, or whatever you kind of want to do, or one applies a cripple, stuff like that. I just feel like if you're gonna create a god that actually has the ability to put down these turrets, make them really hardcore and cool. Let's see it. So that would be my thoughts there with Vulcan. Let's see our caller here. It looks like he's situated. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can go ahead and call. Let's see if he does answer. If not, no big deal. He sends me a message. Sorry, I'm Danish, so I can't pull myself together. Looks like he's not answering. That's okay. That's okay. You took the first step. You sent the friend request. That's no big deal. Friend request is not necessary, guys. Keep that in mind. Anybody can go ahead and call in, and you just call in with the contact info. Hey, man, how's it going?
Fine. How about you?
Good, good. Welcome to Smite Talk. What do you want to talk about today?
I think you're talking about what skin that would be cool.
Yep. Yep.
And Halloween skin. I think that Ymir as Frankenstein would be very cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He could look very nice, and that with the I don't know how to say that in English, but
Okay.
But yes, Ymir as Frankenstein. I think it would be very cool. So
yeah, definitely. I could see that. I could see kind of like a green-colored Ymir almost.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
With the screws through his neck there.
Yep.
And outside of that, I think that would be kind of cool. So that's a really cool idea. Pretty neat idea. I actually didn't think about that. I was actually thinking of Ymir could also be like the marshmallow man from Ghostbusters. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, I have seen Ghostbusters, but I really don't remember that guy. So
Okay, no problem. Well, anything else you want to talk about tonight?
no, actually not. But I'm maybe gonna call you next time.
That sounds good, man. I appreciate you calling in. Have a good night.
Oh, see ya.
Bye. Well, thank you very much to him for calling in. Frankenstein, good idea. Okay, chat room, I know you guys have seen Ghostbusters. You have to have seen the Marshmallow Man. You know, come on now. That'd be awesome as Ymir. Just imagine him. It'd be so perfect, kind of cruising around. Somebody from chat put a link, guaranteed. There it is, right there. Look at that link. Let's go ahead and put it up on stream. Thank you for linking that in chat. Let's go ahead and zoom in there. And, bam. So that's my recommendation for Ymir right there. That's what I want to see with Ymir. But yeah, definitely. Did you guys see some issues in audio there? Your audio drops a lot when a caller calls in. Might be only when you are on Skype. Interesting. I'm not sure. Your voice goes down a lot. Oh, let me fix that. I know what that is. I know exactly what that is. So let me fix that real quick here. Only takes me 2 seconds. Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Okay, that should fix it. We'll have to see. Let's go ahead and take this call. Hey, man, how's it going? Welcome to Smite Talk.
Hey, so last stream I brought this up. I want to talk about CC immunity.
Let's talk about it. What do you got?
I want to talk about it on ultimates and why I think it should be removed. Like, just on every ultimate.
Okay.
I feel like CC immunity should be rare. It's extremely rare in Dota. Like, even the ultimates that do CC will actually go through CC immunity.
Sure.
So Enigma's ultimate is very similar to Hades, but if somebody has magic immunity, it'll still pull them in. No, it just won't damage them. And in League of Legends, the only ultimates that have CC immunity that's their point, is that they have CC immunity. Yeah. And there's only like 2 characters who do it, and it's I forget her name because I don't play the game all that much.
Sure. No, that's okay. So I guess my point throwing it back to you is how would you change it in Smite? If you could make it ideal, how would you change it, and maybe what god would you make changes to?
I would basically make it so that you could still be CC'd, so like if Sobek throws you, you still get thrown, but your ultimate doesn't get canceled. Like, I don't want to see that you can now cancel ultimates.
So let's give an example here. So if Sobek went ahead, charged in directly on someone like Anher, who Anher was casting his ultimate, and tossed Anher backwards, Anher would still be firing his ultimate midair as he's getting tossed back. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes.
Okay. That would be interesting because that would be some crazy control you would have to have. You know what I mean? And also, you got to remember, a lot of this stuff in Smite is on a 2-dimensional plane. So if he's casting his ultimate, it's almost being wasted in midair, though. You know what I mean? Because it's just firing up in the air above the god. So how would they deal with that, though? You know?
I can see that, but I feel like that would make it so that you would have to be more careful with using your ultimate. It's so that it's not so much like a fire and forget sort of thing.
Sure.
And it's like we already see that with like Ymir and Hades. It's like with Hades, you have to be very careful to make sure that somebody used their dash already or used their beads.
Sure. No, I can see that. I mean, I think the possibility's there. I think, and a lot of people have talked about in the past with CC. In regards to, you know, hey, is there too much CC in Smite? Is there, and then look at Cripple. Is there not enough gods of Cripple? Because that's the thing that comes up all the time. People will complain, like, when they took Cripple off of some of Arachne's ability there with her web, people complain, like, oh, it needs to be on there. Well, right now we see Cripple necessarily on something like Poseidon's Whirlpool. We see Cripple on the Shackles. So I guess what I'm looking at is, like, you know, if you take a look, you know, what's the fine line? You know, to you, do you think we have too much CC in the game? Do you think we have not enough Cripple in the game? Because they're very similar, but they're also very different.
We definitely don't have enough Cripple.
Okay.
I don't really see why Arachne needed to have hers removed when they didn't just put it on Bakasura.
Yeah.
And just CC in general, that's kind of a bit more of a gray area because a lot of characters in Dota 2 have CC. Like, very few ranged characters will have stuns, except for the support.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the melee carries will have a stun. So, like, Skeleton King has a stun.
Sure, sure.
Chaos Knight has a stun. Doom has a stun.
Yeah, I think it comes back to with Smite and Beta still. There's a lot of things that need to be balanced out in regards to how many gods are they going to put out that actually have a leap and like an escape? How many gods are going to have CC? How many gods are going to have cripple? And I think they need to find that perfect number. I don't think they're there yet. And it got to a point where some people expected a leap or expected a CC out of a god every time a new god was introduced, just because that started to become the norm. So definitely really good thoughts there. Now for you, Halloween skin. If you could pick a Halloween skin that you'd like to see in game, what would the skin be and on what god?
A Halloween skin. I haven't given this much thought, so I'm just going to say Leviathan skin for Ao Kuang.
Okay, I can see that. That would be pretty cool. That's a good thought.
Just because I always wanted the Leviathan in Smite.
Yeah.
But I feel like because its origins are from the Old Testament, they won't touch him. Like, they won't actually add him into the game.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of that stuff's like a little touchy with some of those religions there too. Well, awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in today. Feel free to call in the future.
No problem. It was nice talking to you.
All right, you have a good night.
See ya.
All right, guys. Well, once again, we're kind of, feel free to call in about anything. Doesn't matter what you call in about, as long as it has to do with Smite. I have some preset topics. I'm going to go into those. And if you guys want to call in and talk about them, great. If not, check out the link in chat where you guys can go ahead and ask questions specifically. Someone asked a question of, what are your thoughts on a pink Zeus? I don't think that would fly necessarily for a Halloween skin necessarily. But it'd be okay, I guess. I think we have enough pink in the game with Aphrodite's disco skin, though. On top of that, another question that came in and said here, I was the one that asked the Vulcan question, but I don't know if that is viable just because he has no chase to kill someone. That is a very good point. That really comes down to it. You would have to change the mechanics on Vulcan completely if you're looking to do something like that. So I can understand what you're getting at there. That's a very good point. So another question's here. What gods do you think would be fun, applicable additions to the Smite roster? Get this one a lot. A lot of people ask this type of question. And in all honesty, I mean, the Norse gods are the ones that I can relate to a lot with, just like looking at like some of your Marvel and DC comics and stuff like that, and seeing them added in. I think there's a fine line though between some of these superhero gods that back with some of these religions and stuff like that. So if I was to pick a god before, I definitely would have said Thor, but he was introduced, very, very quickly into the game. So, especially his brother Loki as well. So, I'm not really sure about that. There isn't very many more that I could just name off the top of my head. I would literally have to go out there and research and be like, okay, what gods are out there that I'm not thinking of, and take a look. All right, let's see what else we have here. Once again, guys, feel free to call in about anything you guys would like. Feel free to also ask questions on the website, which is ask.fm/OctanePro. And ask questions over there if you guys want to. Our topics for tonight. Oh, that's right. Loki is Odin's brother lore-wise? What? Isn't Loki Thor's brother? And Odin is Loki and Thor's dad, is my understanding. Unless I'm understanding that incorrectly. Anyways, our topics for tonight, guys, that we're going to go through is the Smite Halloween spoiler, Sun Wukong and the spoils incoming league system, and the next Hunter class god. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on from there. Additional questions. That's the Marvel side of the story. Okay. So there's different sides of the story. I can understand that. Take a look here. We have, do you think Hi-Rez should slow down when the god releases and work on the game itself and fix it up? Having a god released every 2 to 3 weeks is hard to keep up with and balance properly. To me, I think they should move into a 3 to 5 weeks until they have the game balanced more. I am not asking for perfection. I actually agree with you. I think that Hi-Rez Studios is releasing gods at an astronomical pace right now, and I hope that Hi-Rez does not feel that they need to match what League of Legends has or what Dota 2 has. There's no need to get there. You have plenty of time. Like, allow the game to release and slowly release gods to allow that content. At this point, I think we're at a great number of gods, plenty to play from, plenty of diversity, enough that picks and ban stages make sense. I think the gods, at least, I would say we're at like a god a month, maybe. I mean, maybe a little more than that. I think it's a little unnecessary. I don't think we need it. I think there's plenty of great gameplay out there. I know Hi-Rez has several different departments, and different departments are working on different things, but I would love to see the focus elsewhere, outside of just releasing gods. Like, oh, let's release the god, release the gods. Let's continue with the balance patches, which the balance changes they're doing very, very well at. They've kind of slowed down, finally, on the map changes, so that's really, really good. So, yeah, that's kind of my opinion, but good question. Appreciate you bringing that in there. Also, guys, don't forget, make sure that you guys do call in. Still looking for people to go ahead and call in. Why is DM so mean? He's not mean. Trust me, he's not mean. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Once again, guys, if you guys have any recommendations for any Halloween skins, feel free to call in and give them. My recommendation was the Marshmallow Man from the Ghostbusters. Here, once again, is the Marshmallow Man that I'm thinking of. There he is right there. If you guys have seen Ghostbusters, you know exactly who he is. All right. So to move on from there, once again, I'll go ahead. We did have the Thanatos skin, which will most likely be coming out, as we talked about, which is the Halloween skin with kind of the Headless Horseman style on his head. Pretty cool there. People in chat are saying the Hulk Ymir. That would be a cool idea as well. There's some cool stuff going on there. So, moving on to our second topic for tonight. Let's go ahead and move on to Sun Wukong. And I know all you guys have your opinions on Sun Wukong. You can see Sun Wukong is right over here. It's kind of hard, like, trying to figure it out. Sun Wukong is right here. This is kind of the new Sun Wukong. This is the graphic that they kind of put together for him. Let's go ahead and show you full screen. Here is Sun Wukong, the new one coming out. Those of you guys that are just joining Smite, I'm not really too familiar with like the Sun Wukong background. Sun Wukong was in the game for a very, very long time. They decided to pull him from the game and reintroduce his kit, and meaning his kit is all of his abilities, onto another god, which is, as you know, Han Bats. This right now is the Sun Wukong Chinese art that we did see done right around the time of Gamescom, was it? Yeah, Gamescom. When they went ahead and introduced the Tencent partnership, this was one of the changes that they went ahead and advertised. So with that said, Sun Wukong is being reintroduced back into the game, and he's going to be a warrior. So if you guys remember, Hi-Rez went ahead and set up certain styles of gods now for your classes and everything like that. So you have your warriors out there. What is there? There's your hunters. You have your mages. You have your assassins. I feel like I'm missing one more class. Anyways, so Sun Wukong looks completely different than what he used to. Han Bats pretty much looks identical to what Sun Wukong used to look like. Oh, Guardian. There we go. Guardian, which is like your support class. So Sun Wukong is your warrior, which is pretty much like your AD style type of god. But could fall under a few other different categories too. So I'm going to throw this over to you guys, and I'd love to hear your opinion. Feel free to call in. Do you like what they're doing with Sun Wukong? He's had a full graphical change to him. What are your thoughts there? Do you like what he's doing? What are your thoughts on maybe his kit? What type of ultimate would you like to see Sun Wukong have? Some people have been like, oh, he should like fly on a cloud like Goku, because of the whole look. He could look like that Super Saiyan. I mean, take a look. It's like Dragon Ball Z all over again, right? Those of you guys asking, from what Hi-Rez Erez had talked about, Sun Wukong will be the next god released. I guess re-released would be the better terms there. So we will most likely see him being reintroduced. What are your thoughts? What would you like to see? Would love to hear a call-in from you guys on Sun Wukong and that going forward. While we're on the topic of Sun Wukong, some of the additional things that Hi-Rez Erez did go ahead and spoil for us about 2 days ago. So he did say Sun Wukong will be the next god. The next patch will be probably within 10 days, give or take. So good to know there. On top of that, we have here, let's see, the Wukong is also going to come in. The League system is going to come in as well. The League system, we'll talk about that next. And about 10 additional items too. So we're going to see 10 more items coming in. Of those 10 items, we're going to see a lot of those items be Tier 3 items. So that'll be pretty cool to see. On top of that, what else do we have here? There is going to be leagues with Arena now. So that'll be kind of cool to see leagues with Arena being introduced. Happy about that. Add a little love to the Arena scene. That'll be fun for casual players as well. They're also going to introduce Arena will have bans and picks. They are also putting in the 10 vs 10 will be later this year. So if you guys consider that later this year, it means 2013. So most likely Q4 of 2013 is what I would expect coming out of that. Once again, guys, feel free to go ahead and call in via the Smite Talk right here with the Skype information. Call in. You don't have to have any questions or discussion points about what we're talking about now. Feel free to call in. We can talk about anything Smite related. You got any type of question. Furthermore, if you are unable to call in, but I would prefer you to call in, go ahead and click the link here. I just posted it in chat. And you can go ahead and ask a question directly through that site as well. Taking a look here, we do have being said, they're going to be making some spectator changes to clean that up, help out with the tall trees. They said after Sun Wukong will be the Bee God. Now, I apologize for butchering this as well. We do have Muzinkab. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I butchered. Muzinkab, which will be a hunter, and he is coming directly after Sun Wukong. So Sun Wukong, and then Muzinkab. Also as well, the next patch, they're going to make it easier for you guys to get worshippers. So it's going to make it a little bit easier of a grind. Maybe they're finding that there isn't enough people in solo mastery queue. So they're going to make worshippers a little bit easier to get. I think when you win matches in regular queues to get the worshippers, I think you get plenty of worshippers. When it comes down to when you lose those matches is where I can see the struggle with earning worshippers. Looks like we have a call here. Let's go ahead and take it. Let's see here. See if we can call this. Looks like Justin was calling in here. Let's see. We don't want to do that. Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, it's going well. Hold on, let me mute your stream.
No problem.
Hey, real quick, I got a couple questions.
Sure, go for it. Welcome to Smite Talk, by the way.
Thank you. I called in once before a couple episodes ago.
Awesome.
And really enjoy the show.
Excellent.
I'm glad you're doing it. First question, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking? I am drinking Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Cheers, sir.
That's all right. Here, I'll give you a cheers on stream.
I like it. All right. Okay, so I want to talk real quick about the league system a little bit.
Sure, jump into it.
And I posted a thing on Reddit that didn't get much traction. Kind of, I guess, the downside of Reddit.
Yep.
I mean, I like that all the hot stuff's at the top, but honestly, like coming from a Blizzard-centric environment before this, I'm used to the sticky posts and just the quality of content management that a forum can provide.
Yep.
Anyway, so I posted something about, and you come from a StarCraft 2 background, and the way their matchmaking works is you can have where the system remembers, if you group up with a friend to do multiplayer, it remembers you two as a unit.
Yes.
And rates you that way.
Yep.
And I was suggesting, because a lot of people are displeased with how you group up with your buddy who just barely plays, and you play a bunch, and you get thrown in a group, and he gets decimated, and your team gets decimated because you've got a weak fifth. What if they did something like StarCraft 2 does, where it preserves you two as a you queue together, it remembers you two, and you get your own rating.
Yeah. The league system's the league system's rough, and the reason I say that is because you have. We could jump into it. We're going to talk about leagues later, but we'll talk about it now. Whatever. There's no. Sorry. No. There's no strict direction in this show. This show is just about whatever. Like call in, doesn't matter. So with the leagues, it's kind of hard because you have your solo type of league system, and then you also have your party type of league system where you want to party with a friend or whatever. And where it comes down to, which is I don't know how Hi-Rez is going to implement it, and the best way. They did give some details here. There is a leak post. I can go ahead and post it in chat that did come out about 19 days ago, actually, which is quite some time ago, about the league system. And it's really difficult because in a solo method, it's a little bit easier when you're queuing solo for the league system. Because of now, once you jump into, hey, me and my friend here, Justin, who's calling in, are gonna go ahead and play together. How does it go ahead and rate us? Does it go ahead and take both of our ratings and take the happy median directly between it? Let's say I think right now I'm right about a 1600, 1700, and let's say he's at like 2000. Does it take a happy median of like 1750 or whatever? And that's kind of our joint type of style. And is that fair? Is that balanced? How do they go about doing that? Because if they go with a 1750 and everybody in our bracket that we're playing against is right in that area, give or take 500 points, you could be on the upper spectrum where I could be on the lower. So does that work? I guess what my thought is throwing it to you is, how would you, you said there, you talked about how you would like to see it. What other changes would you like to see with the league system now that you've seen, we've known about the league system for about 20 days now. How else would you change it?
Well, I think it's a little, I guess I'm really in favor of the way Blizzard does it with StarCraft 2. I like the idea that, I guess the league system seems a little short for one. A month is in my opinion, just a little too short. Yeah. Like 6 weeks might be better, or 2 months maybe. I don't, I don't know the numbers and how successful, like if you get, how hard it would be to get to the top of a league.
Sure.
Or, silver, gold, bronze, whatever. And I think it's an interesting, with that, it's interesting to have the top 20% and bottom 20% of the two touching leagues flip.
Yeah. Yep.
It's interesting, but I honestly don't know that because the 20% comprise, if it's 100 people, it's 20 people, 20 people each way. Well, the lowest, number 81 and number 20 don't necessarily belong in the lower bracket.
Correct. And it's, I can understand what you're getting at. I like that they're going to implement it. The 1 month is rough because it's kind of funny how and those of you guys that remember ranked, which wasn't that long ago, but like ranked rating, like your ELO rating, your hidden matchmaking value, whatever you want to call it, depending on what scene you come from, was like never reset within Smite. Like, now granted, I'm exaggerating, it's been reset, but literally you're talking like months and months and months and months. And so with that said, I would, and I talked about this before, what I would love to see is seasons put into play, and each season be like 3 months or a little bit less. Because I saw it with StarCraft 2. I come from the StarCraft 2 side. I understand it. The season resets were a thing to look forward to. A season reset, it was like a fresh start. It was like, all right, great. Because what happens is, like, a lot of the times is people will go ahead and place it with like StarCraft 2 or other leagues that are out there. And stuff like that. And then they start to play and they don't fit necessarily into that league and they're like, screw it, I'll just wait till the next season. So I think 1 month is really quick. I think 3 months might be a little too much. So maybe like 2.5 maybe. There's definitely room to experiment with that. But what other thoughts do you have on League?
Well, and I'm hoping, like, there was no mention of placement matches. And
exactly. That is a very, very good point.
Thought that was strange because how else? What are you just going to jump in and is it going to assign you 1,000 points and you just go crazy from there and you get murdered for the next week? Or, I imagine they've got to refine this some. This seems like it's a couple sentences, 15 sentences long. Yeah. I'm sure this is their rough, like, here's what we should do, guys. Now let's actually talk about it.
Two things there. The placement match I completely agree with. The one thing that frustrates me is I see people complaining about, well, I'm not going to be happy with a placement match because of the fact, I want to automatically carry over my current rating. No. Oh. Like, to me, and I hate that, like, StarCraft 2 does this too, where, like, okay, let's say it's like the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. Like, when a season resets, I want everyone to be at the same point. And some people may argue, now we got to work all the way back up. It's so much time, blah, blah, blah. But, like, the rich stay richer, as if you're at the upper bracket and your placement match comes around for next season, all you got to do is play one match. All right, win or lose, some people still stay in the same exact spot.
As a counterpoint to that, like
Yeah,
I am
please.
in StarCraft, I was not. I think I've heard you say you're like diamond or something like that.
Correct, yeah.
I think I topped out at or high gold,
Mm-hmm.
and just could never. I switched to Zerg, and too
Yep.
much APM for me, and I couldn't do it. But the they had an agile enough system that once a week or so you kind of had the opportunity to pop into the next bracket, and if
Yeah.
you're waiting a month here, like I could see why if you goof up a couple placement matches or you have earned like a consistently high, like let's say they have the same league system as far as bronze, silver, gold, blah 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 all the way up,
Yep.
which they won't, but kind of. Imagine you're in Masters League,
Sure.
and then you have to start up and you're fighting. You want it to be fun for people because at the end of this, it is a game, and
Yes.
it's your league status isn't a reward per se. It kind of is, but you really want, you want to also keep it fun for people, and I guess that's my thought on that.
Yeah, no, my last thing I actually noticed with the league system too, which bothers me, is once again they say a website listing the top players in each league tier will be available. I have to push this, and it's just kind of a rant. I hate the fact that Hi-Rez keeps throwing some of this stuff to their website. You have a game, integrate it with your game.
I think it's easier. I mean, don't they have a web browser? Don't you already can't you already view web page type material in the machine?
Exactly, but you shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? Like you should be in the game. You should be able to view all that information in the game. Like they have a beautiful stats page. Like right now, don't make me go to these half-ass little stats page left and right. Like keep it in your game. I don't want to go to your website. You know?
I'm hoping that that's their initial plan because it seems they're kind of a small studio. Not really.
Correct.
I mean 70 people's respectable. It's not tiny.
Yep.
I kind of think I think a little bit about this because I've read a little bit of history on Erez and some of the other guys that formed Hi-Rez.
Yep.
They've got experience now, but their initial experience was in like software development and not game development.
Sure. Correct.
And I think they're kind of. I mean, I know it's a lot of translatable skills, but
Sure.
To an extent, I feel like they're still learning like the Unreal Engine and, is it the Unreal Engine? Whatever engine they're using.
Correct. Yes, that's the engine that they use for the game. Yep.
I feel like they're constantly struggling with, I don't know if struggling is the word, but struggling with, so many UI bugs, and I know it's beta, but we'll come in and just, I don't know. I feel like they're lacking some specialties, and I'm hoping they can tighten up a lot of those areas. And one of them is the fact that it takes them a lot longer to put together in-game data display than a website, which is, you could finish that whole website in a day.
No, I completely agree. Any other questions or discussion points you had for tonight?
I think that's it. You can take the next caller. Thanks for taking my call.
Well, before you go, I got to ask, any Halloween skin that you'd like to see?
I really like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and which is pretty genius. And actually, everything that's going on here, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and the Frankenstein that was mentioned earlier, pretty hot.
Yep.
And I kind of was a little disappointed that the Headless Horseman didn't end up being Guan Yu just for the horse.
Dude, that makes complete sense, and I completely agree. Like, that'd be perfect, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe that'll be like an Easter egg, and that pops out there, in the next few weeks or so.
And I honestly, I know why they did Thanatos, just because it was, it's not that much of a reskin. They just put a helmet around his head, a globe around his head, because it would be nice to see him be, Death.
Oh, sure. There's a really good idea. Yep.
Yes. He's maybe even the Family Guy Death. I know they can't do that, but what if? Voiced by Norm Macdonald.
That's all right. Well, thank you, sir, for calling in. Do appreciate it, and I look forward to your call in the future.
Thanks. Take care.
Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and take another caller here. Let's go ahead and call Jacob. Jacob went ahead and called in. And let's see if he answers. He called in while we were on the call, so I don't know if he will necessarily answer. We'll let it keep on ringing there. Anyways, guys, we went ahead and talked a little bit about the Halloween skin there. And it looks like there he is. Jacob, how's it going?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you just fine. Welcome to Smite Talk.
What's up, bud? Yeah, I've talked to you on your first one and your third.
Okay.
So I've talked to you before. I had a quick questions for you.
Sure.
Do you know anything about the new league system coming out?
I do. We were just discussing it a little bit, and I have a full post here from Hi-Rez. What are your questions?
I was just trying to see what exactly was going on in the new patch, what's going to happen, because I know they were talking about the new 10 I guess the 10v10 coming out?
Correct. 10v10 will be out within the year, which means anytime between now and December 31st. The way they said it was by the end of the year, so most likely it'll be Q4. So you'll see it most likely November, December. So very, very soon, but not right now. That would be my thought, November, December, because they said within the year. They didn't say a year. They said within a year or within the year. So that's necessarily for the 10 versus 10. As for, let's see here. We have Wukong and the League system coming up next. So there isn't necessarily a patch like right now, but the next patch coming out, I would assume, will be Sun Wukong's remodel and an overhaul, and then the League system being introduced, which will be not only Arena, but also with Conquest as well. You still there? Okay, I think I lost you, Jacob. All right, well, sorry about that, Jacob. Do appreciate you calling in. Feel free to call back. No problem at all. Not a big deal. Let's go ahead and take some questions in the meantime from the ask.fm/OctanePro website. So feel free, guys, to go ahead and let me go ahead and copy and paste that in chat for you guys. So you guys can feel free to go ahead and ask any questions you have over there. If you can't call in, I always love the callers more. But, yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and take a question here. What is your opinion on the gold skins? I personally don't like how they look. I feel that they overdid it in the sense that the skin of the god is also gold. Just kind of seems kind of childish or unprofessional. What are my thoughts? Oh, looks like Jacob's calling back. Hey, Jacob, you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what happened.
That's okay. So we were talking a little bit about the League system and Wukong coming out with the next patch. They haven't said when that next patch is going to be. There isn't a patch necessarily right now, but so that's what we should expect, is Wukong and the League system being in the next patch, whenever that is. What other questions you got or things you want to talk about?
I remember last time I asked you about the clan thing.
Yep.
You only can have 9 people. Are they ever going to change that?
I believe that they will, from my understanding. When they're going to do it, I do not know. Because I think larger clans would be awesome. Like I love to make like the OctanePro minion army. A lot of people are familiar with my minion army that I have. It's kind of a free subscriber system. I would love to make that in game and be able to invite. I think I'm up to about 400 people right now. Would be able to invite all 400 of them. So I don't know. That'd be great. I mean, come on now. I'd love to join a game and be like, oh. I'd be like, oh, there's a minion army.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, it'd be awesome. I love it. I love it.
That would be like the ultimate lag if you had 400 versus 400.
Yes.
Also, do you think they will ever bring back Guan Yu's old ult?
Guan Yu's old ult? No, I don't think they will. I think if they were ever to implement Guan Yu's old ultimate, it would be on a completely new god.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to change him at all. I think his new setup, the new style of gameplay with Guan Yu, unfortunately, the old Guan Yu is a thing of the past.
Yeah, kind of sucks. I miss his old ult.
Yes. Anything else you want to talk about today?
Oh, yeah. Is there any new items coming out by any chance?
The new items that are coming out will be Tier 3 items. Pretty much what Hi-Rez is doing is going ahead and looking at all of their looking at their items and going ahead and breaking them into the Tier 3. So pretty much you've seen it over the past like several weeks where they've gone ahead and gone, okay, like boots will now split off into 2 different directions. Well, they're pretty much implementing that like item-wide. So we're going to start to see that. They haven't said what items yet, but pretty much we're going to see 10 additional items coming in the next patch.
Oh, okay. There's 10 additional items. Okay, nice.
Yep.
That would definitely help.
What else you got? What else you got?
For right now, I think that's it, actually, man. If I have any other questions, I'll go ahead and call back.
Sounds good. Any Halloween skin you want to see?
I've actually seen the new Thanatos one. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
I recently just bought my Ghost Blanca that finally came out because I'm legendary with them, so I was so excited for that to come out.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Sweet.
But thanks a lot, man. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. You have a good night.
You too.
Alrighty, awesome. So we'll take a few questions from the website here. Someone was talking about the gold skins. What are my thoughts on the gold skins? The gold skins are a cool idea. It kind of allows you to be working at something on a god without like to unlock something, which is nice. Something simple, a quick, easy reward system. Okay, if I play this god enough, I get this gold skin. Well, now they also have where if you play the god enough, you unlock like your masteries and stuff like that. So I like the gold skins. I don't go crazy over them. I'm like, oh, it's a gold skin, whatever. I only buy the gold skins on gods that I play a lot. I don't like go through and pick every god and be like, buy. Well, not buy, but try to earn it per se. I really only focus it on the gods that I get it when I play the gods that I like the most. Let's see what else do we have here. What are in? All right, I'm reading this the way it is sent to me. What are in need of a female physical bruiser? Are there any goddesses that you can think of that would fit this role? A female bruiser. Well, with the amount of damage that Athena does, I'd sometimes want to put her under the bruiser category when you go ahead and say that. Is there any god I can think of that would be like a bruiser style? See, I was going to say like some type of Amazon or something like that. Could be a cool idea. For like a bruiser type of style god. Gaia, there's somebody in chat said Gaia, that's a really good one there. But that would definitely work out there. Good question though. What are your thoughts on the rumors of Hi-Rez releasing both Wukong and Muzenkab at the same time? It's not a rumor. They're going to do it. They already said. Oh, rumors at the same time. I'm sorry. There is no. If there's rumors, they're most likely wrong. The reason I say that is Erez did say that, and this is quoting him, that Muzenkab, which is the bee god, which is a hunter god, will be released after Sun Wukong. So he will follow afterwards. So I don't think they're going to release. I don't think I've ever seen them do 2 at a time. Let's see here. Let's see. Just looking at the questions that we have here. No other callers right now, so no big deal. Let's see. Here's one. Do you think Hi-Rez should pull more gods like Sun Wukong and Hell and change the abilities and reskin them? I heard people saying that a lot of the gods are broken or too OP. What is your opinion and how would you suggest fixing this? I think there are gods that could use graphical overhauls. I was happy to see Odin get one. Amazing job they did there. Guan Yu was subject to one as well. Sun Wukong, Han Bat's type of style. Ra kind of got a rework there. So I'm happy with them doing it because their art direction and their graphics are like night and day. Like the new Hell and look at like the original Ymir. It's like, oh my gosh, like seriously? Like are they even from the same game? Because like they're so different with the graphic style and art direction. So I could say that I'm hoping that they go ahead and redo a lot of the older gods. I mean, look, they redid Zeus. I mean, they've gone back and done it. Does each god need to have a full graphical overhaul and then have their kit completely revised with all of their abilities and stuff like that? No, not necessarily. I mean, a graphical overhaul could be okay. Not really the end of the world. Would they have an item that will increase CC for gods such as Hades? They used to get a lot into focus, which would allow you to have a prolonged CC depending on how much you had focus, and they pulled that from the game. Sorry this has been asked before, but do you think Sun Wukong will get Guan Yu's old ultimate? Interesting! As in the 3 jumps. That's an approach. Now keep in mind that Sun Wukong is going to be a warrior, so trying to think necessarily how that would be implemented in. But that could be a cool idea. Definitely a cool idea there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our next topic, which we talked about the league system a little bit more there. So we kind of jumped right past like the league system. If you guys have any thoughts about the league system, here's kind of the rundown on the league system. Feel free, though, guys, to go ahead and call in if you're interested. The information's right down there. Smite Talk Radio is the Skype information. Feel free to go ahead and call in. We'd love to talk to you guys. All right, so here's the kind of the league information that people are looking for. And this was posted by Erez about 19 days ago. Each league season will be 1 calendar month. There are several tiers in the leagues. There is silver, gold, and then etc., etc. They're not releasing the exact names, everything like that. You're welcome, Hitman. Let's see here. Playing in a tier rewards the player with a special league frame on the load screen. So you know how you have like the gold skins and stuff like that, the frames? Well, if you play in a league, it'll show like what league you're in with that as well. Multiple plays in a league give high prestige frames. Okay. prestige, reminds me of like Call of Duty type of style and stuff like that. A website listing the top players in each league tier will be available. Not too thrilled about that. Would rather see that type of stuff in game. On top of that, at the end of the month, the top 20% of players within a tier, so that's the top in like silver per se, change places with the bottom percent of the players of the higher tier. So here's my thought. If you are in the top 20% of silver, you will move to the bottom 20% of gold. And the people top 20% of gold will go to, let's say it's platinum next. I guess my question is what happens to the very top rank? How is that going to work? Because everybody's moving up every month per se. What are you doing there? Like that means that every month you're going to have 20% people being dumped into the very top tier, and where do those people go? Like what's going to occur there? Like how's that going to work? And I like the fact that you start at like the bottom of the next tier and then you got to work your way up. But like, you know what I mean? Like how's that working? Like as you build yourself up. Placement within a tier is based on the number of league points you earn. And league points are earned when a player wins a ranked match, which is now called a solo mastery conquest. Only the player's top 10 wins plus the current win value count towards league points. So pretty much that's not saying that you can only play 10. What that is saying is that it takes your best 10 games and the top amount of points. So let's say you have 10 games and each game you got, let's say you got like 8 points, 8 points, 8 points, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4. Well, you could keep playing and to end up getting like all 8 across the board on all 10, like 8 league points on each one, so that you have the most league points going into the next season. You just explained it. The 20% at the bottom of the next tier are dropped down. It needs to be every month. I'm just reading chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. All right. On top of that here, we have starting value for a win is 10 points. So, okay, not 8, but 10. Losing a match reduces the value of the next win by 1. It's interesting. So your first game you win is 10 points. The next game, if you lose it, would then bring the next possible winning amount down to 9 points. Interesting. Increasing the value by 1 by each win. Okay, pretty cool. So here's a link, guys. I'll go ahead and put it in chat. That is on the league system there. What's going on, C3? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do appreciate you guys coming out. Let's go ahead, guys, and we're going to move to our last topic here, which is the next Hunter God, which people have talked about. And the next Hunter God is this person called, the nickname's the Bee God, which is super lame, and is the Muzenkab. So Muzenkab is the next god. He's going to be coming in after Wukong, and he's going to be a hunter. Now keep in mind, other gods that are hunters are like Honor per se. So something to keep in mind there. And let's go ahead and check out some images of Muzenkab. Here is a great image of the next god, guys. Right here. Right here. You ready? Ready? Here's the next god. Here it comes. Boom! Oprah! She likes her bees! Anyways, I was trying to do a Google search, and that was one of the Google search items that did come up. There are some other ones out there. Here's another one that did come up for this god. I'll go ahead and put it in chat. There's like a quick workup of like a possibility that somebody had worked up of the next god. Yeah, that's right. Trolled. I'm trying to think what else. Outside of that, there's a lot of nothing too crazy here though. All right, you know what? I got two more to laugh about. You ready? Here's the next god. You ready? Here he is. Here he is. Ready? Ready? Bam! There's one from The Simpsons, and here's another one. Here's another one. You know, I'm just like going through Google search. There you go. Watch out! He's gonna come steal your cereal. Watch out! You know what? That's a very good point in chat. Soko Thunder said, if he's a B god, most likely we're going to have another airborne ultimate. I'm kind of disappointed by that. We already have Apollo. We then have Thor. And then we have Thanatos. We don't need another airborne god. We have Mercury's ultimate, which is like the first ability that could get you a majority of the way across the map via land. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to see another airborne god. Like I'm not really happy about that, to be honest with you. It's kind of goofy. Hi-Rez, CAC. You know he's probably not with Hi-Rez there. But anyways, looking through here, I don't think we have any Hi-Rez employees in chat. Let's see. No, we do not. All right, anyways, guys, feel free to go ahead and call in. I'm going to go ahead and take some of the questions that you guys have submitted via the website. The only downside about the website tonight is I got so many less calls. Like, usually, I have about 10 calls a night on average, which is perfect. Well, now that I'm using this website, I'm getting a lot less calls. So I might have to try next week without the website to see if that improves the amount of calls. Because I would rather get your calls compared to actually getting, you know what I mean? Getting as many questions as we are. So let's go ahead and take a look here at some of the questions that you guys did ask. How do you feel about the bug with ultimates? Because sometimes when channeling ultimates like Ymir, for example, you can be knocked out while channeling your ultimate, but it doesn't do damage. So you kind of get like CC'd per se. You then have to recast it. I don't like that. That is not a bug. I'm sorry, it is a bug. I don't like it. Let me take that back. Outside of that, can you explain the league system in detail? Kind of went through it the best I can with the post that was released. How will Wukong be able to turn into a bird? You guys saw that, right? Erez says in this post, and I think he's trolling us. This is in the spoils post. I think Wukong can turn into a bug. Or into a bird. I'm sorry. A bird? A bird? Seriously? A bird? So that means he's going to have another airborne ability too? That's crazy. You'd call in, but you're shy. Okay, here's the funny thing. We've had the first few episodes of Smite Talk, we had plenty of people that were like uneasy. But once they called in for the first time, it was perfect. And trust me, I'll make it easy for you. I'm not going to bite. I'm nice. Come on now. So call in. Call in. Once again, guys, we are going to do an 800 gem code giveaway at the very end of the show here, which we're approaching very quickly. What do you think of John Quee's Ghostbuster skin? That is awesome. That is awesome. Awesome. That is, you know what? That goes hand in hand with the Ymir Marshmallow Man, also known as the State Puff, as our previous caller had talked about. That would be awesome. I would be so happy to see that. Very, very good idea. Very, very good idea for a skin. What do you think that Hi-Rez should make it so when you buy equipment, it becomes your actual weapon? So now you're starting to talk about the fact of the items that you purchase directly affect the look of your god. So I've always had this theory and this hope that Hi-Rez eventually will get to a point, because Hi-Rez is in the business of microtransactions. You guys spend a few bucks, you buy some gems, you get to buy some skins, or you get to buy a god. Great, but they're limiting themselves. I want to see a Team Fortress style of Team Fortress, Guild Wars, and like mixed together. And what I mean by that is I want to be able to spend real monies. I want to give my money to you, Hi-Rez, to be able to buy inks. Let's say inks example. It reminds me of Guild Wars. To go ahead and change the color of my god or parts of the body of my god to make him unique. On top of that, I'm taking the TF2 side. I would love to see the ability where, as you play the game, you unlock different items, like passive items that have no effect, that you can also go ahead and combine with buying items, so that when I join into a game, and let's say I play Poseidon, I can make my Poseidon as unique as possible, where almost no one could replicate it, and when I join in, people not only recognize me by my name, but also by the look of my god. I think that would be awesome. Like, add all these different things, crafting ideas. You can add crafting in with it too. The possibilities are endless and really, really cool. So I would love for them to be able to do it. Now, going off of your question, I think it would be really cool where depending on the items you purchase, affects the look of your god. I think that would be great. I think that would be really cool. Why doesn't Herc look like Kevin's Sorbo? Oh, such a good show, Hercules show. Also, alien skin for Bakasura. I can see that. That's a good one. And maybe a Predator skin for Loki. I feel like Predator could go on someone else a little bit better. I'm trying to think. Maybe a Predator Hercules would be a little bit better. Trying to think who else. I can't really think of anyone else specifically. All right, another question here. So I appreciate you guys continuing to submit questions. You guys are awesome. You're going to leave now. When are you going to do it again? Oh, well, that's a good point. So, guys, in order to cut back on my... those of you guys that follow me know that literally I am doing several Smite podcasts a week, several streams a week. I'm streaming on Smite Game, and it got to be too much. Finally, I had to decide what I'm going to do. So I decided I'm going to do Smite Talk every 2 weeks. So those of you guys that noticed I didn't do Smite Talk last week, I'm going to do Smite. So I did Smite Talk this week. Smite Talk's going to be every 2 weeks to make sure we have enough content to talk about. Not that there wasn't enough content, but just so that I could have a break period. And I also moved the Smite Update podcast to Sundays at 5 o'clock to give me more time during the week with my family. Plus, it allows me to allow the EU people to watch Smite Talk or Smite Update on 5 o'clock on Sundays, which works for them. So, anyways, the Smite Talk will not be next week; it'll be the following week. But all the details, guys, you can check out my website, OctanePro Gaming. You can also check .com or check out on the YouTube, youtube.com/The Smite Update. Anyways, let's take some more questions here. You know how when you use an ability, there's an area of effect that Hi-Rez gave that a design used to be blue. Okay, I understand. Yep. It's the targeter idea. Completely understand. Do you think that they'll do that for all the gods? Yes. Also, a lot of the newer gods have high crowd control, like to escape Hades or Ares Ultimate. Do you think they'll fix that? Yes, I think they should. I think eventually, right before release, they need to look at the game and go, okay, how many gods that we have leaps? How many gods have cripple? How many gods have CC? Is it too much? What can we do? Will you try to plan Smite Talk with patches so you talk about it after the patch? Very good question. I actually have a whole separate podcast show on patch notes. The name of that show is called Smite Update. It is on YouTube. It's on iTunes. It's on the Android store as well. It's called the Smite Update. And here's the link, guys, if you want to check it out. YouTube.com/The Smite Update. Currently 28 episodes into that, so a little far behind. This show's only 4 episodes in. How about an underground ultimate? I feel like it's coming. Sobek dives underground, but he still stays on the 2-dimensional playing field of the floor of the map. Hades goes underneath with his dive. But you have to remember, they're now going to have to go ahead and build an underground type of layout, which in the past they haven't had. Where in the past, if you fell through the floor, which I saw somebody the other day do, it's just like the architecture layout. It's crazy to look at. I saw a Ra actually do it the other day. I think it was Memorize too. I was watching Memorize's stream, and that happened too. What do you think is the best current team comp for competitive? There isn't a perfect comp because it comes down to the teams and play style, and the meta changes per week because of the balance patches. So I can't necessarily give you a perfect idea there. Do you know any Wukong abilities? I do not know any of his abilities yet. Let's see. Thoughts on the possible god mix like Hunter and Warrior in one god, like Hell Stance switches, but you can change it up. I think Hi-Rez does plenty of hybrid type of styles right now. A lot of hybrid stuff going on, and I'm not sure how... I've voiced in the past how I'm not happy with hybrid style gods. I want to see each god having its independent role, but it looks like that they're moving in the hybrid direction, so you win some, you lose some. Pushing it to the level that you're talking about would be ridiculous, so I'm actually not hoping for that. What do I think about Jump? It's okay, but they need to implement it on all gods, not necessarily on like 6 or 7 or whatever. I would have preferred them to go ahead and implement them on all the gods. I think I would have liked that a little bit more. Two more questions here, guys, then we'll do the gem code and we'll head out for today. We are an hour and 5 minutes into the show, so just as I expected. I usually aim for 45 minutes and we get an hour, but looks like we have another caller here. Sorry if I didn't get you right away. Let's go ahead and accept here. And let's see. Let's go ahead and take the call. Let's see if they answer. I'm calling Nicole. We'll see if Nicole answers. Ring-a-ling-ling. Ring-a-ling-ling. Oh, she's not answering. Come on, Nicole. Come on. You know you want to answer. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Smite Talk.
Hi.
Hi. So what do you want to talk about?
I was just wanted to ask a question. You know how Freya, Ho2, she can change from being a melee to a range?
Yes.
Do you think that they should do that with the more gods to come?
I think that would be cool. I'd like to see more gods do that. I feel the way that Hi-Rez is going, one god doesn't. The mechanics that you're talking about, one god shouldn't only have that. I'd like to see more gods kind of have that and be pulled into play to give us more selections and options. Do you like that on Freya, or do you not like it?
Well, I do like it on Freya, but Freya is a very hard god for me to play, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that if you do shoot U2, that it has an area of effect of its own.
Yes.
So if they put that on other gods, it might just be too OP.
Yeah, I will say that Freya, I always refer to Freya as Frank the Tank, because when I am going against Freya and she's using her second ability, I'm screaming as I'm running away because
it just
it
wrecks
hurts.
you.
It hurts. It's like a Mack truck every time. Every time I hear that boom, boom, I'm like, oh my gosh, it hurts. It hurts. So it's so strong and it's so good. I love the mechanic of Freya. I don't actually play Freya enough. I mean, I've played her a ton, but I don't play her enough, and I don't because I think she's really, really good. So I actually like her. Anything else you want to talk about today?
Yeah. I saw. I was on the live stream a bit before you called.
Sure.
But you know how one of the questions got brought up that you can buy weapons for the gods?
Yes. Yep.
Do you think that each god should have a secondary weapon? Like Loki, he has his blades, but on his back there's another weapon, or I don't know if that's just part of his skin. So do you think that they should do that?
I think they should, but I don't think it should affect. I think it should be a non-combat passive item that doesn't affect anything, and it's just cosmetic. I don't think that they should actually make it stack necessarily and actually take effect. I would rather it just be cosmetic to make you look more unique and different from the next Loki that's playing on the other team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do like the idea that you can customize your own god, so that way it does have that uniqueness to it.
Correct. It almost takes that MOBA style and mixes it with a MMO style in order to give you a more unique and individual experience compared to just being another god. So yeah, we'll have to see. Well, any Halloween skins you can think of that you'd like to see in game?
I was on a Smite live stream earlier today, and I heard someone wanted to see a Superman Cupid, which I thought would be interesting, or maybe a Oogie Boogie skin for Bacchus.
Yeah, I can see the Superman skin on Cupid, but being a belly shirt because Cupid's kind of like a little punch ball. So maybe a little belly shirt where his little belly sticks out or something like that.
There was another question that I just kind of
go for it. Please go for it.
I guess they just released a game a few months ago, something on Steam, that's a lot like Smite and League of Legends, but it's kind of an open world. There's not really a battle arena.
Are you talking, is that called Dawngate? Is that what it's called?
I have no idea what it's called. I can't remember the name.
Okay.
But it's it does have a set walls, but you can just roam around, jump on top of buildings and stuff.
That's kind of cool.
I thought was pretty cool. But they have more than just full abilities. So it has 5 or 6. Do you think they should incorporate that into Smite as well?
I think Smite has the perfect number of abilities. I'd hate for them to add more. It would be they would literally have to completely rebalance the entire game because of adding in the additional items, because everything up to this point's been balanced off of the 4 items that you do see. So I'm going to say no, because I don't want to see the game prolonged even longer than it already is from being released.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because if you have more abilities, then you're just gonna get wrecked fast. Oh,
Exactly. I mean, there's more combo abilities available to you and stuff like that. Well, awesome. Well, I appreciate you calling in today, and feel free to call in the future.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll take a few more calls here. Toxic Talon. Let's go ahead and take the call here. We'll go ahead and call Toxic Talon. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Smite Talk.
Hello. I thought you asked me about a skin. I actually had a pretty good idea for one.
Go for it. Let me hear it.
I thought this would just be hilarious, but we all know how Onhur throws spears. Why not give him a broom and a witch hat? I mean, come on. They have to do something festive. You can't just put Cupid in a superhero suit. That's pretty much just a ripoff of Teemo, because everyone was comparing Cupid to Teemo when he came out.
That is true. Yeah, I can see that on Honor. That'd be cool to be festive, not only with like a costume, but also with the Halloween setup with like the witch and stuff like that. That's a really cool idea. I like it. Any other ideas or topics you want to talk about today?
Well, actually, with the Sun Wukong, I don't think they should be bringing him back, because with Hoon Bats, he's in a great spot. The ultimate he has right now is much better than Sun Wukong's old one.
Yep.
He can now teleport to targets and get, just do quite a bit of bursts and hopefully get out if he has Combat Blink or play well. I honestly don't think that bringing back Sun Wukong is the best idea.
Okay. I would have to say I will have to comment on that after I see him and see how different he is from everything I've heard and seen. He's going to be a complete 180-degree turn when it comes down to the changes that they're putting in effect for Sun Wukong. So he's going to be nothing like his previous self.
Okay, I didn't hear about that. I haven't seen the patch notes yet.
Yeah, well, there actually isn't any patch notes saying anything necessarily about Sun Wukong, but Sun Wukong is being a warrior, and from what I understand with Hi-Rez and from what I've learned with being involved within Hi-Rez, trust me, we're not going to see a hybrid style Sun Wukong than what we saw in the past. His kit was given to Han Bats. Sun Wukong is going to be his own man at this point, from what I'm seeing.
Oh, I thought they were going to completely get rid of Hoon Bats and just keep,
Oh, no, they'll keep Han Bats, without a doubt. Sun Wukong is actually going to step in and be a brand new god.
All right. There's a lot of balance issues that I would also like to talk about.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, because with Kronos, you see him constantly getting banned because it doesn't matter how hard you shut him down. If you get past 20 minutes, he's going to destroy your team.
Which god are you talking about?
Kronos.
Yes, which is actually interesting because I follow the competitive scene quite a bit, and you'll actually notice that Kronos is banned a lot actually right now. And part of that is because no one knows what to do with him. Because that's the thing, if he is put into the game, then everyone focuses him, because once you get to late game, he's disgusting. They are making tweaks, my understanding, or they made tweaks directly to Kronos' speed. They did. They made to his speed, I guess he was a little too fast, as he can't be faster than Mercury, since Mercury is supposed to be like the god of speed or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So with that said, yeah, Kronos is interesting because in competitive play he's banned so easily, and I do agree with you. I think he's very, very strong. He starts out, being weak in the very beginning, but he is completely on a slope type of style where as you approach endgame, he's extremely strong. So a little bit different there.
Yeah, and someone brung up, I believe it was Epsilon, brung up Zhang Kui. I don't know if I butchered his name or not.
No,
but,
that's okay.
Yeah, he's pretty easy to counter. If you can get him under some heavy CC before he pops his ultimate, he's pretty much shut down easily.
Yeah.
Kronos, he just pops his ultimate. He's back where he was. It's just ridiculous.
Well, the thing with Kronos is, though, that he is quite squishy. 1 CC ability after his ultimate, and you can unload on him and you're good to go. Yet, keep in mind, with Kronos, it's going to be very difficult to catch him off guard, and then he pops his ability, because then you kind of wasted everything when you popped it. So with Kronos, keep in mind when you're playing against Kronos and you want to kill him, always have another lane partner available to help you with it.
Yeah.
Reason being is because most of the time you'll see Kronos, just go ahead and pop his ultimate, and he's back to where he was, and it's like, all right, whatever. So a lot of the times I actually see Kronos actually try to overcommit. A lot of times in arena too. he tries to overcommit and do a lot of damage because he has his ultimate to pop into effect right away. So, yeah, Kronos is a cool guy to talk about.
Yeah, Kronos is he's in a good spot, but because of that, you don't see him played a lot.
Yeah.
He's overpowered. He's not balanced.
Yeah.
You could probably say the same thing about Onward, but he has a high skill cap.
Yeah.
If you don't land any of your skill shots, you don't hit all of your you don't hit all your spears with your ultimate, you're losing a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's a really good point. Well, anything else you want to talk about today?
Well, I've been wondering if they're going to be putting in any new game modes. I think it would be interesting to see a new game mode or possibly just update, what is it, Domination?
Correct. I don't think we're going to see any new game modes anytime soon. There's too much for them to work on right now, I feel like. I feel like the game modes they have in the game are too much as it is right now. I'm very surprised at how many game modes have developed over the past 6 months. With that said, the 10 vs 10 is being talked about to be done before the way that it was quoted before year's end. So November, December, they're going to implement the 10 vs 10 in Arena, though. They're not going to implement a whole new game mode. I was hoping for like a battleground style, like taking a book out of like World of Warcraft for the 10 vs 10, but they're actually just going to throw it into Arena and off you go.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Weren't they doing that with League of Legends and a bunch of other MOBAs with all this 10v10?
Correct. Yeah, it's more like the war style because there's like so many gods. All of a sudden they create like a war battles type of scenario. So yeah, pretty cool. Well, man, I appreciate you calling in. Make sure you call in the future.
All right.
Thank you.
See you.
All right, guys. We will take one more call. Let's go ahead and take a look here. And let's see what we get. Hey, welcome to Smite Talk. How's it going?
How you doing?
Good. What do you want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about the Conquest pre-mades.
Sure. What'd you have in mind?
Right now, what I'm seeing, I don't know if other players are having the same problem, but 90% of the time, in my case, I see either the same players, and if I don't see the same players, I see new people. And these new people that are just coming into the scene, they get really intimidated by the BM. That some of these guys really, they're accustomed to their player base or their player level, if you will.
Sure.
I'm guilty of that sometimes. Okay. But I was wondering, is there a possibility or a way to take away that intimidation factor? For example, what if we took away the Ban God option on Conquest Solo Master to get more players into, the competitive scene? What do you think of that?
So you're saying if we take away the ban option during the draft mode, you're hoping to see more people in the competitive scene? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because people wouldn't have to play necessarily what was left for them because they were the last pick. I don't know. Somehow that to me would make sense. In the sense.
Well, no, that's okay. My thought is, well, first off, you talked about a little bit of the BM there, and they did talk about they're going to be implementing a karma system. They're calling it KARMA. And that's going to be at the very end of a game that you can go ahead and give a player karma. You have so much karma a day that you can hand out. You can give karma to certain players, which are great team players, which excelled in a game. Or you can also give people like negative karma, per se. And you also, I think it is, you can only, you can't give karma to a party member. So if you join up as a party, you can't give it to your friend in order to increase their karma. And so it's going, what that is going to do is that's going to go ahead and reward players for not BMing, for excelling in the game, and for participating as a team. So that might help out with some of our BM, but unfortunately, it's a free-to-play game, which means that you're introduced to a variety of age groups. Not saying that, people that are young BM or people that are old BM, everyone BMs, but it's a free-to-play game, which means your player base is larger. People feel that they can BM a little bit more because they're not paying into it at all and stuff like that. So I think there's always going to be that BM factor. As for with bans and conquest and competitive side, you have to keep in mind the ban and pick modes and the draft mode style is its own mini game. And it pretty much, it takes practice, it takes strategy, and not everyone's good at it. And that actually is what I would think would intimidate people is jumping into solo mastery queue or jumping into a game that has ban and picks. That's intimidating for them to have to pick gods to ban and then be limited to the gods that they have left available because gods have been banned. So that is what, I don't recommend any new players going into the any game at all that requires you to do bans and picks. I just think it's not where you should be as a new player.
Right, and so I think we agreed that the banning of the gods is
correct.
Okay. So removing that, wouldn't that bring a whole bunch of new people so we could see a variety of players instead of just sticking with the same players over and over again? Because I feel like there's this clique that plays the Conquest Master, whatever you call it.
Solo Mastery queue. There is.
Right.
And I actually like that, though, because I can't argue about that because, yesterday I was streaming, I think I streamed about 3 or 4 hours of Solo Mastery queue, and I played against or with and back and forth the same 2 or 3 people I saw back and forth for the 3 hours. And that was awesome to me. It was great. I built a relationship with them. They messaged me in game. We messaged back and forth, kind of laughed about it, stuff like that. And I think that's the type of stuff that Hi-Rez is looking for. They're looking for people that are even playing by themselves to kind of create these companionships with the people in the solo mastery queue as you start to move up the ranks. And that actually trickles down into people creating teams and then competing in the different tournaments. So, I'm not going to, unfortunately, I won't agree with you there. I actually do like the fact for solo mastery queue of playing with some of the same people each time.
I understand.
Anything else you want to talk about today, sir?
No, just I was wondering about the league, but I guess I'll just read the patch notes.
There's a full post out there on Reddit that Hi-Rez had made 19 days ago with some of the information on the league system. Outside of that, nothing else has been released.
All right. Well, thank you very much, man.
No problem. You have a good night.
All right, great.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys. Lots of questions. We could go on forever, but now we're almost at an hour-and-a-half show, which I thought it was only going to be 45 minutes. So anyways, let's go ahead and close out the show. We'll do an 800 gem code giveaway at the very end as well. I want to let you guys know if you're interested in playing Smite and you are not playing Smite yet, you don't have it downloaded, you haven't signed up, please go over to smitegame.com. If you guys have enjoyed Smite Talk but didn't get to catch the whole show, or you want to check out the other episodes, you can check out all the episodes of Smite Talk on youtube.com/The Smite Update. The Smite Update. We're on YouTube. Go to iTunes if you want to download the audio version and you want to go ahead and check it out when you're going to the gym or when you're on your ride to work. I listen to podcasts all the time on the way to work, audio-only version. So check it out. It's on iTunes. Look up Smite Talk. It's also available for Android users as well. Search for Smite Talk in your podcast app. If you guys have any questions or comments that I didn't get to tonight, feel free to email them to me, smitetalk@gmail.com. And if you do go over to iTunes, make sure you leave that 5-star review. I've had one person leave a review so far for Smite Talk, so get over there. Finally, keep in mind, Smite Talk is going to be every 2 weeks now, just in order to split things up for me a little bit more. So we had a great show this week, excellent turnout. We're not going to have one next week. We'll have one the following week. And something that I'm planning for, PAX Boston in April. I will be attending as long as Hi-Rez is going. I do not know if they haven't announced it yet. It's quite a few months away. We're talking about April. But if Hi-Rez is going to PAX Boston, I will be there. I'll be driving up. So if any of you guys live in the area or are going, I would love to meet up with you guys. As we start to get a little bit closer, I might do a OctanePro meetup at a local bar nearby or somewhere neutral for some people that aren't 21 at PAX Boston. I think it'd be a really great idea. So we'll have to see how it goes. I think it'd be a good time. Outside of that, guys, if you guys want to keep up to date with me on everything that I do in the Smite scene, my live stream, all my videos, my beginner guides I have out there, my layout, my specs, my shows, go ahead and check it out, OctaneProGaming.com. Would really appreciate you guys checking that out. Finally, guys, you can catch Smite Talk in 2 weeks from now at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And let's go ahead and do our 800 gem code giveaway. Excuse me. This gem code giveaway, guys, is brought to you by Hi-Rez Studios. And let's see here. The promo, in order to win, you have to be a follower of this stream. So make sure you're following this stream. If you're not, unfortunately, I ain't giving you nothing. So make sure you're following this stream. I would appreciate that. Follow the channel. And make sure you're logged into your Twitch account. That is super important. Or else you can't really follow it. Outside of that, if you're looking to win 800 gems, the last thing you need to do is in chat, put in this code. Excuse me. No pound sign, guys. Capitals doesn't matter. Anything like that. The keyword is We Love Smite Talk. We Love Smite Talk. Once again, thank you very much to Hi-Rez Studios for supplying this week's gem code for you guys. I always love the fact that they do go ahead and support the community with a lot of this stuff. So thank you to them. Once again, guys, the keyword is We Love Smite Talk. And we'll go ahead and do this and go from there. So, guys, you can also catch me tomorrow night. I won't be streaming on my own stream, but I will be streaming for SmiteTube. I'll be casting the 3vs3 Clash of the Gods tournament, or the North American tournament, over at twitch.tv/SmiteTubeTV. That'll start at 8 o'clock p.m. I'll be casting that with my co-host, Cooper. So make sure you guys do come over and check that out tomorrow night. Thursday, I'll be doing some streaming as well as Friday. Doing some more Smite. You can check out my schedule, guys, at OctaneProGaming.com. Once again, my schedule is listed over there, OctaneProGaming.com. And that tournament is SmiteTube.com. And they host a weekly 3vs3 North American tournament. All right, guys, let's go ahead and roll the dice. And we have a winner. Congratulations to him. It is Zarisk. Z-Y-R-I-S-K. Please go ahead. You have 1 minute to post in chat. If you do, I will go ahead and send you your code. If you don't, I will re-roll for somebody else. So Z-Y-R-I-S-K. Congratulations to you, sir. You have won. Come on down to the Price is Right. Oh, there he is. Excellent. Well, congratulations, sir. You have won yourself an 800 gem code. Keep in mind, if you've already won an 800 gem code, you can win another one, but you can't redeem it. Hi-Rez only allows you to redeem one set gem code at a time. So, like, you can do a 400 gem code and an 800, but you can't ever redo another 400. So keep that in mind there. Anyways, guys, I'm going to head out for today. I do appreciate you guys joining me. Please, once again, make sure that you do check out all my content over at OctaneProGaming.com. Check out the check out the VODs. Audio versions available on iTunes and also the Android store, along with on YouTube, youtube.com/TheSmiteUpdate. Once again, guys, I appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me. I'll see you guys next time.